So while I don't know the most about skateboards out there, I do know what I like. So I'm gonna give you guys my review of the Exway Flex. Probably the main reason you clicked on this video is you wanna know what the range is, so I'm just gonna start with that. I have the Exway Flex Riot, and I went out and I was riding a mixture of second and third gear when I did this range test. I was also not riding super aggressively. I still don't have all my protective gear in. So with that said, I got 20.1 miles on the board and I had 13% battery left. That's very awesome. That's almost exactly what they advertise. But again, I wasn't riding super fast or aggressively. And I also am not a very big rider. That has a lot to do with why I got that range. So if you weigh a lot more and you're riding a lot faster, naturally you're not gonna see that kind of range. I weigh about 135 pounds. I was wearing just a helmet as far as gear goes, and then I just kind of like to cruise around. I don't know how that will change in the future, but personally I was very pleased with that. So now that you know what the range is, let's just kind of get into the full review of the board. The smart battery is really awesome. This is my first board with a smart battery. I think it's the only board out there that has this smart battery. Being able to just turn your remote off, do whatever you're gonna do, feed the ducks, that's what I do, and then just turn your remote back on and hop on and not reach under the board to hit the power button. It might seem like a small thing, but it's actually pretty cool. The Exway Flex does have the swappable drivetrain, and you can switch between the hub and the belt drive motors. I don't have that. However, I did change my pulleys and I put bigger wheels on there. I don't have a range test for that yet, specifically for those wheels, but right now I am rolling around on 105mm rubber wheels, which by the way are awesome. If you're not gonna change your wheels, I have to say the wheels that come on the board are very, very nice. In my opinion, there's no need to change them, or unless the roads in your area are really bad. And if you're gonna ride off-road, this probably isn't the best board to get anyways. You probably would just wanna go with an all-terrain board. One of those is on my list at some point, trust me. I talked about the remote a little bit in the last video that I did, but it does feel really nice. Like the texture on the remote is really nice. The one thing I guess is sort of a complaint is the screen. This is my first remote with a screen, so having a screen at all is a good thing for me. However, the screen is very, very small, so if you just want to glance down and see how much battery you have, it's going to take getting familiar with the screen and what information is displayed on the screen, but then also your battery percentage and your remote percentage are very small, and if you're in the sun, it can be pretty difficult to see. The Exway app is super cool. I don't have any complaints with it. I know some people were having some issues, especially with Android phones, getting it to connect to their board. Again, I didn't have any issues. Mine connects to my board definitely within the 8 seconds that it says it's going to. So now that I have my board set how I want, I probably won't use the app a whole lot other than maybe just to check like how many miles are on the board or that sort of thing. Let's talk about the deck, the Flexi deck, and then how concave it is. That was definitely, you know, something that they talk about a lot, and it was something that interested me a lot, and if it would be comfortable to ride. I love the deck. I love how flexy it is. I think it's like the perfect amount of flex now that I've spent more time on it. Also, the concaveness of the deck. I love knowing where my feet are at all times and feeling really confident in the placement of them on the board. That may sound silly, but if you've ridden a couple of boards that are super flat and you go over a bump, a lot of times when I go over a bump, I hop just a little bit. If you lose your footing at all, it can be a little bit concerning about where your foot ends up. And I feel like with how the deck is, I kind of just like mentally know where my feet are at all times. And I don't really have to pay attention to that when I'm riding. The one complaint I think I have about the deck is the grip tape. On my other board, I think the grip tape is just grippier. I don't know what the technical term for that would be, but the grip tape on the Exway Flex, I feel like it could be just a little grippier. I would like that. The Trish trucks are awesome. I really, really like them, but I don't have a lot of truck experience. So when I say I like them, it's mainly for aesthetic reasons. Unfortunately, where I live is very, very flat, or maybe you would see that as a fortunate thing as far as eking more range out of your battery. It says it has a 30% hill grade and going up hills. My guess is it would probably do really well with hills. Unfortunately, I have no hills to test that on, so I can't speak for that. So I was in the pre-order, so I got the free Cnc washers. I have put those on the board since, and honestly, I can't tell a huge difference between the Cnc washers and the gold washers that came on there. That's just me again. The one other thing I guess I'll touch on, I know this is a really brief review, I was just kind of trying to go over the main specs that Exway talks about on their page, as well as things that I liked and things that I noticed. So last night I changed the pulleys for the first time to put the 105mm wheels on that I have. I had to change from a 12-hole pulley to the 10-hole pulley, in case you're wondering. And when I did that, that was my first time to do anything like that, and it was very, very easy. So at this point now, swapping back and forth between wheels, at first I thought it'd be a giant pain in the butt to do. And honestly, I think the next time I do it, just knowing what I'm doing going into it, I'll be able to do it very quickly. Not as quick as like, you know, just like a plug and play type of situation, but I think it's something that I can do really quickly. So if you're like me and you're a skateboard noob and you're a little bit concerned about like changing between wheels and different, I would say don't worry about it. Just look at the directions. It's very, very easy. Also, again, I don't have the cloud wheels. I know the cloud wheels are a big deal, and I do want the cloud wheels. The one thing I can talk about in regards to maybe similarities between the rubber wheels and the cloud wheels is the height, because my wheels are 105 millimeters and they make the 105 cloud wheels. I think if I was gonna order cloud wheels, I would definitely go with the 105 millimeter wheels. And I say that because you're gonna get that extra height on the board. And my opinion of that is that 105 is just right. Going to 120, I think that would put me up higher than I would want to ride and be more like, and feel comfortable riding. If you need 120 meter wheels, maybe, yeah, you should be looking at an all-terrain board. I don't want to tell people what to look for or what to get. It's just, again, this is my opinion that 105 millimeter wheels is probably gonna be as big as you would want to go. The 85 millimeter wheels that they put on the board, they clearly did that for a reason, because I would say that's really the sweet spot. I wouldn't want to go smaller than 85. I wouldn't want to go bigger than the 105. So hopefully that helps you guys out in case you're just like torn on what size cloud wheels to get. Definitely go with the 105s in my opinion. And if Exway sees this and they want me to test some wheels out, they have my address. They know where to send stuff. So this was brief and this is quick. If you have any other questions that I didn't answer, because I'm fully aware that I probably left some stuff out, post a comment below and I will answer them. If you guys want to see more skateboard videos, ride content, anything like that, let me know that also below. And maybe I'll buy some fancy camera to do that.